So Jordan, would you like to explain what happened today as we go for good old times? Because we could go for these. I really need to do something, work before the week starts, but this should be happening in place of a stream. No, well, not really on place because, hey, I messed up a recording, and so this is happening much later than I expect it to be, but as we get into Katak Ill-Fated Character Exclusive Ico, maybe we can go for STE here instead, but good old times is what we're going for. But essentially, yeah, I messed up recording, and I did not like what was there because it was messed up, and so I'm recording this here now. Dexterity, Charisma, Light, Second, Takshisana, maybe a Strength check. I won't let you know if I got any achievements in the failed recording. Just let's just say that there were a few mistakes, but the most primary one was that there was a bunny on screen, and I was like, this should not keep happening. It's also because I switched some of my hotkeys, but that's something else. So we're gonna set. Do I set Illegal Dead? No, I set Monument here. We're Ico, we might as well play it safe, and by that I mean when you take Monument so you can lower Doom, because Ico will be okay in encounters, even on Harbinger, usually. Sometimes that's not true, but for the most part, Ico doesn't really have as hard of a time on Harbinger than other characters, because of, well, if we want to use the phrase meta here, the meta for World of Horror is being able to comfortably go through encounters as someone screams in the background, because yes, hey, as it turns out, the people around me also like video games, so that kind of helps me out be pumped for video games. Flood, Ward, Coma, Sailors, and Scissors. And we'll get on with it. I would actually like the Stuff Toy, but I would probably take either Ward or Scissors fourth. That said, if we don't get the Carpenter... I think there was nothing in the cupboard, was there? No, there was not. So I'm just sad now. Well, we can try to swerve it to an STE run. I promise you, though, that's not going to be for the best. But maybe it's all we get. It might be all we get. That being said, if we can take Ward fourth because we get the plush toy, because the plush toy undoes the fourth mystery damage scaling, that's usually what I take. I don't think I've often said that, but it's more implied because, well, I do forget at times. If you go back in the Ico's run, sometimes I notice that it's, oh yeah, that's right, I have the plush toy. So on the fourth mystery onward, it's like we're fighting on a regular mystery / run. But we'll grab the Carpenter Hammer anyway, if we can, or not. I'll reroll once. Okay, or not. So we're just gonna grab the shovel and swing really hard. I gave it the old college try. I think that's is that a British phrase or a European phrase or an American phrase? I can't remember. Anyway, we'll visit the History Club regardless, get nothing, and off we go. So I guess we're looking for STE here. We're looking for STE in a run where we don't have a lot of apartment investigations. You usually want apartment investigations because that will give you the most STE progress, but Downtown I think has one main STE event, but again, we have to put the opposite term here. You usually want to be in the apartments. We have Scissors, we have a thing, and we have more of a thing. We're on Ill-Fated, I forgot. Yeah, Scissors, Flood, and Ward. So we don't have the Illegal Den. That's perfectly fine for the moment. Can we get anything else? I don't think we can, right? And the other, meet your other neighbor. I thought I did that achievement before, trying to go for the setting through the settings. Apparently not, so maybe I'm just wrong here. So what I think I'm gonna plan to do, if we do have a town mystery last, is we'll sit in the last mystery and grind for something. I don't know whether it's STE or a Carpenter Hammer plus the 2 spells. We gotta try something, because otherwise we're not gonna achieve anything this video. I guess the only other thing to say is that as I am looking through things, yeah, we've been, I'll at least be one data point on the graph where, yes, there are more robots on my channel, whether that's videos or streams here and there. So if you see something, I'm gonna assume, sometimes I'm not sure, because sometimes I'm getting correspondence, whether that's comments, messages, or otherwise, that seems specific enough to talk about something, but then I try to poke at things here and there, and this is relevant because it affects World of Horror as well, but yeah, I poke at things and I don't get the right response. So I guess we'll see what happens. It's funny, but we'll see what happens. I'm likely to what am I trying to say here? I'm likely to. We're gonna go for this, by the way. Star, Cup, and Bowl. I think I do try to power through things in case people forget. Not that I was heavily, and I was not that I was a skilled player in any way, but I do have a professional fighting game background to some extent. So yeah, you gotta just be able to shrug things off, whether that's positive or negative. I do take criticism and try to work on that. I'll take the 3 stamina damage, by the way. So whether it's positive or negative or malicious, if someone says something that's true about me, and that's something I need to work on, I will work on it. At the same time, if I've already addressed a certain issue, I'm not going to, I thank you for the advice, but I've already either said something about it or have, it's pretty much there. But I won't deny when something happens that I'm not going to try and improve myself. By the way, and the only other thing to say about that is, I forgot what I was going to say, because, the only other thing I'm going to say about that is, there's one main reason why I continue talking my videos near nonstop, and that's because, just look at the Monster Hunter videos at the beginning of this channel, and then look when I started doing my World of Horror videos, and just look at what that has done for the channel, basically. And if you don't want to look back, then basically the point is that, if we're looking at channel growth as one metric, not talking at all was worse for my channel than talking. So, that being said, that's not to say that I shouldn't be able to focus while playing a game and being coherent in terms of commentary, but, that's a whole other part of it. And there are just some people in life, I know someone personally, who does not like commentary while they are watching gameplay, although it depends on the game being played, but, people have preferences, and I realize that I do not fit in more than a few people's preferences in terms of, hey, I want to watch this game, but this guy called J. Ordan MML, he just either non-stop talks, or he just goes off on a tangent, or I don't think I actually go off on... If we're talking about the game, I usually talk about the game, but you get the point. And if you would like to hear more about that, I will be happy to speak on it, because it's interesting. On the other hand, just one last thing, I do use, on this platform, we might as well say it because it's part of this platform, I do use YouTube Analytics to try and make my channel a healthier place in general. Not just for me, but for everyone, really. So, whether that's setting settings through, trying to make sure my streams are okay, or taking advice, or looking at, whether or not I'm getting the right audience, because for those who don't know, I am playing 2 other games at the moment, or trying to juggle them while developing my game. So, both games, really. And then when I say I'm also working on custom content for World of Horror, then yeah, I do have a lot that I have on my plate. So, that being said, so I could have... No, I couldn't have, because I didn't want to save Flood for later. So we're just going to we're going to rest twice here first. And then we will visit the school and rest. So, yeah. So... And at this point, there are certain comments that look negative, but I do try to, look at I do try to say that I've read them by, liking and or hearting them, but at the same time, at certain times I look at it, I may do that, and even then I kind of tilt my head and go, is this a real person? You can't always assume that, right, on this platform, so that is a negative. Let's not say there aren't any negatives. By the way, yeah, I do want to do this, by the way. Because next turn, we will be putting the other 6 damage into the boss, which is going to be nice. And we're only taking -1 reason. But anywho, that's the end of that topic. Again, if you want to hear anything, if you have any questions, I will try to say them in the video that you leave a comment for a question for. But otherwise, I kind of just go on my own and talk about my own thing. Why am I bracing here, by the way? I should actually go for a dodge here. Don't really often get to dodge, but when I can, because it's the only logical thing to do here, hey, you get to profit 50% of the time. Really 50% of the time. Unless you're using dodge maneuver, but I'm not going to try to dunk on that perk, but let's just say I don't have the best track record with it. Anywho. Moving on. So, as for World of Horror, yeah, we'll see what happens on Halloween if we get another update. If we don't, we don't, and that's the end of that. And I'm not trying to phase out World of Horror. I might do World of Horror every now and then. I think at least one stream a week is healthy enough, but at the same time, also trying to complete Harbinger Horror. I did have something else planned, but with Harbinger Horror taking me nearly a year because of my own thing, I don't know why I did that to myself, by the way. I do, because I forgot that I was on Ill-Fated, and I proceeded to take the check. But yeah, well, World of Horror, I have to still give it props for the, helping me out at least, but also being able to help other people out, I do see things as like, oh yeah, I've seen gameplay on YouTube. I don't know if it's mine, but people say they see gameplay on YouTube and they're like, yeah, I'm gonna get World of Horror, or no, I'm not gonna get World of Horror. So glad I could help, even if my failure is the reason why it helped, or even if my suffering and or failures have been why. But anywho, as we move on here, yeah, it doesn't seem like we can grind for one of the two, whether good old whatever, I forgot the achievement's name, or no, I just want to brace here, right? I'm going crazy. The reason we brace here is because we can just take 1 stamina damage and then get out next turn, as opposed to taking 2 stamina damage and getting out on the second turn. In fact, I can even just do this. Oh, nope, I can't. Whoops! I'm getting too loose as I go, as I blow out the mic. Yes, I know I blow out the microphone. Well, what can you do when you are as surprised as I am? You can not blow out the microphone, that's the answer, but again, that's just how loose I am with or how comfortable I am playing Ico, and loose, but yeah, we'll move on. I would like more spells, but the odds of getting both Regeneration and or Expel Evil usually is not the greatest, so yeah, we work with what we got. That being said, we do get to Brace Prep Strong, or Brace Prep Attack here, which is really nice, because I think that means in the next turn, and even here, Brace proves its worth, because if you're going to defeat something, you might as well save damage on the turn you get, before you get out. That way I don't just have to take 4 stamina and then handcuff. I can brace, and then still be like, oh yeah, I can handcuff here. And then we get out. Or if I wanted to be RNG, I could just dodge, but that's another issue entirely. Oh, we move on. All I can do is laugh. If nothing else helps fill the space, but as I said before, I think just forcing a laugh from here to there, or just being able to laugh a lot, does keep my mind in, you know, at least focused, but definitely in a positive mood. What do we want to do here? A thing. We want to prepare, that's for sure. We are going to Witch Tree twice for, I could say funds. I'm going to go 2 and 2 here, because maybe we get a spell. What did we get? Threat of Fate. Yeah, that's not what we wanted to see. The shovel, did the shovel give me enough funds, by the way? I don't feel like it did. Also, this Sailors, oh no, yeah, this is Sailors. Well, as I said, we're just gonna sit here for a moment, because we are looking for a thing. Now, if we don't ever get... Yeah, I don't think SD is gonna be possible here. It's never it's not impossible right now, I don't think. It's just very unlikely. So we do get the Harbinger Hammer. Unfortunately, we have to visit the History Club about like 5 times, but we're going to keep doing it until we get near death, pretty much. We're looking for a Regeneration or Expel Evil, and when we don't get either in about 5 Doom, we'll proceed forward and do our best, just to add some tension to the run, but we're also trying to survive as well, so I'll do my best. All ill-fated, so my 10 strength means nothing. Means a lot in battle, but it means nothing. I could have also kept the shovel equipped, not prepared for funds, and then proceeded to defeat enemies to get funds, but that assumes I'm going to run into an encounter, or at least 2 encounters, because I needed a lot of funds. So, at some point, I do need to visit the thingamajiggy again to look for spells. We do get Expel Evil, but we can't use it, funny enough. So we're going to visit History Club one more time. And we need Regeneration. And we need Regeneration. And we need Regeneration. Again, the lamest form you're ever going to see on this channel, if it takes this long to get this achievement, is that I am going to use a custom character that has both Regeneration and Expel Evil. Because the Harbinger Hammer is more consistent to get than those 2 spells. Now, we do get Regeneration. Unfortunately, we're about to die, so let's find... You have to ask for stamina here, because that way we can lump of flesh. I was supposed to use it. I actually slipped there. Would we have survived? No, we're at a max threat level Seaside, which means even if we lower Doom by 3 here, we would have been at about 94% Doom, more, actually, depending, and that this Air Force kind of actually just ruins everything. So, yeah, we're not even done yet. So, death. So, I guess I'll see you next time. If you have anything to say, you know what to say. Oh, but I will see you later.